Regular press conference by Foreign Minister Motegi will begin. Minister Motegi, please. I have no opening remarks. Are there any questions? If you have question, please raise your hand. When called upon, please go to the nearest microphone. Please give us your name and affiliation before your question. Nagahara-san from Sankei newspaper, please.
This is Nagahama of Sankei. Today marks 4 years since the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine. This question was asked last week as well. I would like to hear your thoughts on the continuing war even after 4 years. And also, Mr. Kishida, then Prime Minister, at the start of the war visited Ukraine, but no visit has been realized since former Prime Minister Ishiba. How does Japan view the need to visit Ukraine again and to emphasize its commitment to solidarity? It has marked 4 full years since the start of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, yet peace has yet to be achieved. And I have grave concerns over this, and it is deeply regrettable. The invasion of Ukraine is an egregious act that threatens the core of the international order, and our position remains unchanged that such unilateral attempts to change the status quo, regardless of where it is, can never be tolerated. It is important to realize a just and lasting peace in Ukraine as soon as possible. And at the security conference in Munich and the G7 foreign ministers meeting that was held in Munich, based on this perspective, discussions were held. And regarding my visit to Ukraine, no decision has been made at this time. But in order to promote public and private efforts for recovery and reconstruction, we will make the utmost efforts to maximize our contributions. And in order to do that, we need to better understand the current state of Ukraine and what needs to be done going forward. Therefore, we will continue to closely communicate with the Ukrainian side on various levels. Next question, please.
Onda-san from Kyoto, please. This is Onda from Kyoto. I have a question regarding tariff policy of the U.S. President Trump, on February 21st, in his social media post, indicated his intention to raise global tariff, new tariff imposed, including on Japan, from 10% to 15%. After the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the reciprocal tariffs, etc., the tariff rate is revised in only 1 day, adding to uncertainties. How do you regard this situation? The other day, the U.S. Supreme Court gave a ruling that the reciprocal tariffs, etc., based on IEPA, International Emergency Economic Powers Act, is invalid and unconstitutional. Following the ruling, the U.S. government announced that as of today, effective February 24, on all countries uniform 10% tariff will be imposed. Such presidential proclamation was issued. And subsequently, although the timing has not been determined, President Trump announced that the tariff rate will be raised from 10% to 15%. Last night, Minister Akazawa, Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, held an online meeting with Commerce Secretary Lutnick and asked that as the U.S. government implements new tariff measures, that the treatment of Japan not be disadvantageous in comparison to what was agreed last year in Japan-U.S. agreement. And between Secretary Lutnick, it was also reaffirmed that both Japan and the U.S. will, in good faith and swiftly, implement the U.S.-Japan agreement reached last year. That is what I have reported. That is the report that I've received. Regarding the ruling and the content of the ruling and potential impact, Japanese government will carefully examine, and including the response by the U.S. government and related developments and potential impact on the U.S.-Japan agreement. Government of Japan will continue to pay close attention with strong interest, and if need be, would like to approach the U.S. side.
Are there any other questions? If not, this concludes today's press conference. Thank you very much.